Welcome to the Parenting Puzzle Podcast with Dr. Daniela Owen, the podcast where we attempt to solve the parenting puzzle together.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the Parenting Puzzle Podcast with Dr. Daniela Owen. How you doing today, Dr. D?
I'm doing great, Jake. I had a really fun weekend. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Hey, did you know, what's your take on squirrels?
Cute and sometimes a nuisance?
They're definitely cute. I've been having some urges to shoot them with BB guns lately.
Okay.
Here's why. I haven't done it, but here's why. So over the weekend, so I think it was Friday. So Friday, picture this. I might get emotional, but hopefully I won't. So I get home. It's like lunchtime, right? Okay, Friday lunchtime. Come home from some meetings. Get home. I'm walking to go use the restroom. Look over to the left. There's like water dripping. There's like 6-7 feet of sheetrock on the floor, and then there's like hundreds and hundreds of acorns on the ground, and about 1.5 inches of water on the wood. And so my initial thought was, well, that's not right.
I'm glad that was your initial thought.
Yeah. My second thought was, I'm glad nobody was home. Like that was Jackson's. I mean, that was my 3-year-old's room, right? Jackson's room, and he was in there playing like he likes to do. That might have been really, really bad, but he wasn't. He was at his little school. So I come home, I see all that mess, and I'm like, oh my God. And before that, we were having like a little small AC issue. Seemed like a little, it was under warranty and all. So a motor was out. So we thought that was the extent of the problem, but the motor was out. But it seemed like the squirrels had like got into the attic and made themselves a home and like a nest through the insulation, and then somehow got through the coil too. So like the water had been going through that spot and like dripping on the sheetrock for, I guess, a long time, until it finally said, I had enough of that. And now there's a big, but you know what I thought, Dr. D? I thought seeing was believing. So we don't really do any Speedster Squad shout outs, but I am going to play a quick video because, I mean, you might as well make content out of it. So check this out. I don't know, you haven't seen this yet, but here we go. I'm going to hit play. Oh, wait. Okay. That's the feeling.
Oh,
All right, that's enough of that.
that is not a fun start to the weekend, Jake. I'm really sorry that is what you came home to on Friday.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. So we're working through it. Filed a claim with the insurance. It's all fixable. Nobody got hurt. So
Good perspective.
Overall, it's going to be okay, but it's not great. And I'm trying to fight the urge to shoot squirrels in my front yard, but I think I'll find a more humane way to take care of it. That's the plan right now.
Sounds like
a segue into our topic today, right? So, like, as parents, and happy Mother's Day, by the way. It's almost Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is kind of like our special Mother's Day edition. This is the first time in a while, Dr. D, that we've done like a one-on-one.
I know, it's fun.
Yeah, which I like when we do the one-on-ones. It's just fun and, awesome. And I get to talk to you and pick your brain and have you to myself. So it's Mother's Day, but as parents, we're always dealing with new challenges every day, right? New challenges all the time. Maybe it's a squirrel eating through your attic, or a kid that's sick, or work is really stressful, or all the above. You're traveling somewhere. I think sometimes, like, what we wanted to talk about today was sometimes in life as parents, the last people that we take care of is ourselves. Like, we take care of the spouse, we take care of this kid, that kid, the other kid, and everybody else, but we forget to take care of us, like me, and for you, that would be you. That sounded weird, but to take care of like us as people, because if we don't take care of ourselves, ain't nobody else going to take care of us. So it's kind of on us. So you posted a great video We could play it too if you wanted to, but you posted an awesome video. I really liked it. I watched it. I liked it. It was all about how as parents, we're actually better parents when we take care of ourselves, but specifically with this video, you were talking about exercise, right? So like, I would love if you could tell us a little bit more about that video, kind of what motivated you to post it, and we'll take it.
Thank you for bringing this up. Parenting self-care is a really important topic, and parent burnout is real. And you mentioned that Mother's Day is coming up. You know, I think a lot of people are like, oh, Mother's Day, we got to do something nice for mom. And then, of course, Father's Day, same thing. But most parents, you know, aside from that day of recognition, aren't getting the level of recognition that kind of fits the job. Like if this were a real paid job, they would be getting more recognition. And so we can burn out from lack of recognition and lack of self-care. And so, you know, being able to do things that are good for us and kind of like fill our own cups, really does help us become better parents and be better parents. And specifically in terms of physical exercise, like when we are physically taking care of our bodies, our minds work better in certain ways. So there's a good area of research that looks at how vigorous physical exercise helps us be more efficient and actually like focus and pay attention better. And so that's really important for us to know. A lot of times people will come to me and say like, oh, if I spend 45 minutes working out, then I lose that time. And it's like, not really, because when you are working out and doing vigorous exercise, then doing work after it, if you're working out, for example, in the morning or even midday, the work that you're doing after it, you're actually going to be probably working better, working more efficiently, thinking faster, and you're going to kind of make up some of that gym time. So that's one important thing to kind of keep in mind. And then there is such a robust body of research that talks about the connection between physical activity and mood. And physical activity quite literally makes us feel better. And parenting is hard, full stop, right? That's what we always say. And it's frustrating and it's exhausting and it's stressful and it's wonderful and it's beautiful and it's hilarious. It's all those things. So being able to do something that makes us physically and emotionally stronger is going to help us do a better job at parenting. And so spending that time doing the exercise, it doesn't have to be every day. And also recent research has shown it doesn't have to be as long as we've thought about in the past. Like doing small amounts of exercise still count. So if you go out and you jog around the block for 10 minutes, that counts, that matters. And I think a lot of parents will say like, oh, I don't have time to do like a whole workout, so like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. And my argument is no, don't do that. Do a little bit today and then do a little bit tomorrow and a little bit the next day. Doing those bits additively is going to have so much more benefit for you as a parent than trying to wait to fit in the full workout, which, let's be honest, is very hard for us to find the time to do.
Dr. D, I have a confession.
Tell me. This is a safe space, Jake.
Okay. I don't do much working out. I know my amazing figure probably that's shocking, right? But I don't do a ton of working out. And then I have another question. What is your workout of choice? So if you got 10 minutes to go like get some exercise in, what is your go-to?
Me?
Yeah.
So for me, I running. So running is my workout of choice. And here's the reason. And this is from pre-kids. Running takes the least amount of effort, in my opinion. It takes a pair of sneakers and that's it. And hopefully your house keys. So for me, running is the lowest barrier to entry workout. Not everyone can run. You know, your knees have to be working a certain way. Your hips have to be, your back has to be. So walking if you can't run. But the thing that's going to take the least effort to get going, that is what I recommend when you have a short amount of time to do it. The other thing that I think is really, really valuable, and there's been some good research recently about the importance of using weight work for our bodies, but also Pilates. So you can do 10 minutes of Pilates and really, really strengthen your core, strengthen your back, strengthen all the muscles in your body to help you be stronger, which by the way, helps when you've got little kids anyway with like lifting them and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. But Pilates is another great one. And there are like a million YouTube Pilates videos that are up there for free that you just put in 10 minutes Pilates video and do that too.
Dr. D, we could do a parenting puzzle Pilates class. Maybe we'll get maybe
Okay.
that'll get
As if you don't already put me on the spot enough, Jake. Okay.
I asked that question because I thought you might say running because we discussed that in the past. But I like that idea of it's like there's no like I got to go to the gym. I got to find somebody to watch the kids. You can get up anytime that there's like a space. You can throw on the tennis shoes, throw on the workout gear, and just hit the street, right? And you just need sneakers and motivation.
Yeah. Yes. But I even like what you said. It made me think of another thing, which is like if you have kids at home and you're watching them and you can't do that, but you know, they're entertained for 10 or 15 minutes, you can also put on some other kinds of exercise videos, right? There are all those like high intensity interval training things that you can do without necessarily weights. Like there are versions of it that you just use with your body, and you could do like you know, jumping jacks and sit-ups and push-ups and honey jogs and all those things to like just get your heart rate going. You could even do that in the other room while your kid, or even in the same room, but just like while your kid is playing. So that would be another option. Low barrier to entry exercise. That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah. So I like that idea, and I'm starting to think, Dr. D, that my with these great suggestions, that my problem isn't actually time; it's more laziness.
Okay, tell me more.
Know? So I think, well, my schedule is a little bit insane, I guess. So typically we wake up pretty early, so we start off bringing the kids to school, 7 o'clock for that. And then it's work, right, till 5, and then the kid get off the bus. And we have a little bit of issue getting the kids down to sleep. So they go to sleep about like 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So from like 7 to 9 is pretty jam packed. And I don't have like the lunch break thing most of the time because I take customers out to lunch at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
So that's a tough one because I did think about lunch.
So tell me what happens between 9 and when do you go to bed?
As soon as I possibly can after the kids go to sleep.
Okay.
But let's say probably around 10:30, around that number.
So you take a little time to decompress?
Yes.
Okay. I
edit the podcast or
thank you for that.
Video,
Okay. So that's great. So you're not going to bed super late. That's awesome because I think that's a trap parents get into. Like they just need.
I want to ask you about that.
What?
I want to ask you about like sleeping, how important sleep is to taking care of yourself, and what the research was behind that.
Hugely important. As Americans, we vastly underestimate the importance of sleep, and sleep is one of our most important internal resources. So being well rested, having had adequate nutrition, having had adequate hydration, and being physically like well, like healthy, not sick, are the 4 things that help us cope with life challenges the most. So if we aren't well rested over time, and there are certain periods of your life, like when you have a newborn, that's just like out the window. But a lot of us tend to get into the trap of going to bed too late, but the morning time just maybe stays the same. And so we're just getting less and less sleep. And that loss of sleep is tremendously impactful on our well-being. So that's something important to consider.
So the 4 things are sleep, exercise,
nutrition, and hydration.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
So don't let go of the exercise and don't let go of the sleep. So then people are like, well, which do I prioritize, the sleep or the exercise? Do I lose the sleep and get up early and get the workout? You know, it's all about balance. But I bet you, and I'm not trying to call you out here, but because I'm guilty myself, but I bet you there are probably 10 minutes of any given day where you are scrolling on your phone or looking something up and getting pulled down a rabbit hole. Oh, that's interesting. Let me look this other thing up. Or that you get pulled down this rabbit hole that you could have devoted to physical activity. And so I want to challenge you and encourage you to think about, when are you most likely to get your workout in? When is that most likely to happen for you?
Probably in the morning before everybody gets up, like 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you woke up so everyone gets up at what time?
But like 6:30 to 7.
Okay. So if you got up at 6 and did a quick run, or even like I'm saying, do something if you don't even want to leave the house. The weather's getting nicer, so that makes it easier. But doing something that's a quick workout that you can even watch on YouTube, for example, and then get that 10 or 15 minutes in, then you could maybe like either, if you like to take a shower after, take a shower or have a cup of coffee or something, and be ready to start when everyone else is waking up.
Yeah, it's possible. I could try it, Dr. D, and report back on the next podcast.
I like that.
It could be like my homework. It could be my homework. Healthier, better parenting through my 10-minute workouts.
Well, I would love it if you were willing to step up to that. I'm very curious to hear what you find. I will tell you that this past weekend, I got a moment of like intense self-care because I was on my own at an event with some friends for a weekend. And I woke up both days very early from external circumstances. And I was like, well, I'm up, might as well go. And I went on my runs both days before even having coffee, which is not my norm.
Yeah.
And it was magical, like truly magical, to just get up and exercise. The feeling of completion. And I think you'll feel this after 10 minutes. If you can do 10 minutes of physical activity, the feeling of productiveness before like anyone else is even up it's pretty awesome.
You know what's interesting? So there was a long time, like years, where almost religiously I'd go to this class called Body Pump. It's like a cardio weight class, religiously at least twice a week, usually 3 times a week, and it was at 5 a.m. I don't know I think I hurt my back or driving a lot, so I had like some back issues. But what I found was when I stopped going to the 5 a.m. class, like when you're in the routine, it's not hard to get up at 4:30 and drive and get to the class and then get home. But when you're not in the routine, so like I broke the routine. So I was legitimately out for 2 or 3 weeks with the lower back pull, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't work out. But once that was healed up, I just kind of never went back. So it's like when you're like, I guess that's the important thing too, is like it's the routine. So it's so hard to start, but once you start and you get into the routine of, like for me, I guess we'd be getting up at 6 a.m. before the boys and Sarah up and doing that little workout. Once you get the routine going, it's a lot easier. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. And guess what? Those 4 things I mentioned earlier, they feed off of each other. So you get up, you get the routine going. Now you're like ready to drink some water because you exercise. Good. Now you're hydrating your body. That's really good for your body. Now you're hungry. Now you're eating breakfast and you're prioritizing eating breakfast because you're hungry and you have a little extra time to do it. So now you're eating breakfast, right? And so by the time it comes to be bedtime, since you woke up a little earlier and you did physical activity, you're more likely to fall asleep better and sleep a better night's sleep. So they're all, they all feed off of each other. And all 4 of those things that help with our well-being encourage each other.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's like momentum, right? It's cool.
Yeah. Do you have any Mother's Day tips for the
Mother's
audience?
Day tips?
Yeah.
Like how to make it a good Mother's Day?
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Dr.
There's no right or wrong way to Mother's Day. So I think that I was reading I was like reading some interview or something a couple of years ago with someone who was like, I want a Mother's Day like Father's Day. Like fathers are expected to go out and do their thing and mothers are expected to like go to brunch with everyone. I don't want to go to brunch with everyone. And I thought that was funny. I was like, yeah, you do you. You should do whatever you like for Mother's Day. So and how you think of it matters too. I was just talking to a friend of mine and she was like, Mother's Day is not my holiday. That holiday is for the grandmas in my house. I will be cooking and cleaning and waiting on everyone, and they're the ones getting honored. And then one day, hopefully, I'll have my time. And so I think it also has to do with your attitude, right? Like whatever works for you, whatever matters, to you and your family, whatever your family's values are. If you're doing Mother's Day with those in mind, you're probably going to have a pretty pleasant experience. I hope you do.
Yeah, I see. I asked that question too because the thing that we talked about a little bit earlier was like Mother's Day is a great example of like, okay, this is obviously a day where the moms could get some R&R and take care of themselves if that's what they want to do. But like what we're kind of getting at is you should probably try to find some time for that every day, right?
Yeah. It would be a great day to start it though.
Yeah,
If
definitely,
you're
yeah.
like, wait, I need to do more exercise, more hydration, more rest, more nutrition. That would be a good day to start it if you're kind of looking to jumpstart it and then kind of flow from there. Like you said, it's hard when you get out of the pattern or when you're not in the pattern, but once you're in the rhythm. So if you're looking for a reason to get started with self-care, and whether it's exercise or anything else, that would be a good way to get going.
All the moms out there get started, right? And
Yeah,
the dad
taking care of
and the
themselves.
dads too. That's such an interesting concept. It's like that was your video was all about exercise can actually make you a better parent. Because like it kind of reminds me of like the thing on the I think you talked about this before, like thing on the plane. Like you put your little mask thing on before you put the kids. But that's part of that whole thing about like, hey, I'm putting my mask on first. I'm taking care of Jake. You're taking care of Dr. D. And like then now we'll be better at taking care of the littles in our lives.
Yeah, and when we're not hungry and tired and cranky and haven't gotten to move enough in the day, we're in a much better shape to
Yeah,
handle these little beings that have demands and questions and
a
needs and all
lot
of
of
that
demand.
stuff. Like if we haven't taken care of ourselves and we're depleted and running on fumes, and then we have to shift our attention and take care of these little beings, we are not in good shape to do that. And then we're going to snap, and then we're going to yell, and then we're going to go to sleep feeling bad, and then it's going to be hard to fall asleep because we're going to be, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I wish I didn't do. If we take care of ourselves and take the time, and I'm talking a few minutes a day to exercise, to hydrate, to make sure you're getting enough nutritious food into you and not just like empty calories from bags of chips, getting to bed and getting yourself a restful night's sleep, you really, really are doing yourself a favor, but you're doing your kids a favor because you will be a better parent.
Love it. Love it. Hey, Dr. D, are you ready for my favorite segment?
Sure.
All right. Let me do our quick sponsor read. Okay.
Yeah.
So shout out again to our awesome sponsor for supporting the podcast. It's Louisiana Flag Football. So me and my son Isaac, we both participated. I coach, he plays. But if you're looking for a way for your kids to get some physical activity, right, Dr. D? Exercise is good for them too.
Oh, yeah.
Get some physical activity in a competitive environment. Helping them make some new friends in a structured way. Look no further than Louisiana Flag Football. It's actually the biggest flag football organization in Louisiana. So we'd highly recommend it. If you ever were interested in signing up, go to their website, louisianaflagfootball.com. And we just want to thank them again for partnering with us and supporting the podcast. We greatly appreciate them.
We do.
Okay. I'm going to play this little thingy. Here we go. Got to find it. And boom.
Okay. So here's my last word. Exercise can make you a better parent. When you take care of yourself, and exercise is one way to do that, you are helping yourself be in a better place to take care of others. And when we're moving our bodies, we are expending energy, which helps us with sleep. We are encouraging our bodies to get hydration and nutrition because the output is making us want input, and it's reminding us that we need to eat and drink water. All of these systems intertwine and help us be healthier. And when we are doing these things, hydrating, eating nutritiously, getting good sleep, and doing physical activity and things that help us keep ourselves well and not sick, we have our best ability to cope with the challenges of life. And so those all are part of self-care. So taking the time, it can be 10 minutes a day to do some physical activity, get your body moving. It helps reduce stress. It helps improve circulation. It helps with our heart rate. It helps with so many different things that doing physical activity will help you be able to show up for your kids in a better way feeling less stressed, feeling less depleted, and actually be able to parent in a way that you're likely going to feel better about. So take the time, don't delay, don't depend on doing a 45-minute class or, an hour weight workout or whatever. Make it short, make it sweet, but just do it. That's the key. And being consistent and doing it regularly, you will feel the difference and you will notice yourself parenting better and your kids will appreciate it.
Awesome. You sound like a Nike commercial. If only they would sponsor. That would be better. No, I think it's great advice. Dr. D, real quick, you're one of my favorite people, so happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
I hope you have a wonderful day and they treat you like the queen you are. But before we go, I have to say, please, please, please like the podcast, share it, watch it, send it to somebody. You like it, send it to somebody else. Check out Dr. D's YouTube channel, Instagram, all that stuff. We referenced a lot her video that she put about exercise and how it makes you a better parent. That's on there. And also like hundreds of other videos that are great tips. So like y'all go check out our YouTube page, but we really want to keep doing this. We enjoy doing it and we need your support. So Dr. D, once again, I hope you have a great Mother's Day. Thank you as always. I think we're done.
Okay, that sounds great. You have a great week as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving us a review. It really helps us out and lets others discover the show.